Hey guys, Coldbrew here. Welcome back to another raid video. Brand new champion training event popped up right now. Well, not event, tournament. But I went through it, I read it. You guys probably read it too. I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts. Honestly, Plarium tries to get something right and they do it half right, okay? We have the Mikage Soul Chase going on at the moment, the Titan event. It's gonna be a 2 weeks thing. You get the 4-star soul. Covered it yesterday. It's not worth it. It should have been a 5-star. That's basically it, okay? The 4-star gives you nothing for a support. The 5-star gives you accuracy, better blessing power, and resistance as well. So they should have done that, especially because mythicals we cannot get. That's the quick video that I did yesterday. That's the summary, okay? Today though, this popped up, right? The news section, we saw this. Champion training tournament to get champions for getting Mikage. So Ilsinia or Aishma, okay? Aishma. So, these champions are needed to get Kira the Watcher. One of the 4 champions required to complete to get Lady Mikage. This is a good thing, okay? Having something for players that is achievable other than the RNG from shards, having that as their target should be something for players to compete in. But they shouldn't be competing with each other. They should be, well, competing was a wrong word that I used earlier, but the players need to have something that they work on in order to get Mikage. Mikage is an amazing champion, but is very much RNG on how long it is for you guys to get her. For me personally, it took me quite a few months to pick her up, and Kira was the last thing that I was needing for the account. So what Plarium is doing right now is basically they're placing one of the 4 epics needed for getting Mikage behind the tournament wall, which is basically competing for the first place. And not only that, you'll need to get the minimum amount of 10,000 points to pick it up. And during that time, okay, you'll get some web points needed for the Mikage soul, but honestly, this shouldn't be it. I want to see some guaranteed ways for players out there to get the epics, at least some of the epics. All right, have it in the champion training, fine, have it. Have the reward in the champion training tournament for the first person in the group be something cool, okay? And then have it as a guaranteed reward on the right side. Have it 15,000 points. Have it 20,000 points. You know how many people are gonna go for that? Honestly, you're gonna have way more people pushing their resources for the 20,000 points rather than just thinking, oh, I'm never gonna beat the first person in the group, so I might as well not even try. I don't see the point there. You get more out of the player base, more player satisfaction, more player, acknowledgement of the good thing that you're trying to do instead of what you're doing right now. So you're doing half of the things right. That is my issue with today. Initially, when I saw this, I thought, okay, this is great. You're gonna get the champions needed for Mikage. It's gonna be amazing. But then I realized it's a champion training tournament, and then the news thing popped up on my screen. I read through it, and I thought, all right, I gotta just rant a little bit on the camera because this is not it. This is not it. This shouldn't be it for getting Mikage. It shouldn't just be an RNG thing to compete. It should be something at least achievable, at least some of the epics being achievable, and then the others, okay, have them as RNG from shards that eventually players will get. But when you're doing things like this, where you just put the champion up for grabs, make it guaranteed. It's an epic. For legendaries, I could accept it being a competition with other players. I could accept it because they did it before for what's her name, for the other one needed for Mikage, for Tatsu, right? It's Tatsu and Kira, the 2 legendaries needed. So they did it before for Tatsu. Why not do it for the legendaries like that, and just have it as something that is recurring not every month, but maybe a couple of months, have like a champion training tournament for Tatsu, champion training tournament for Kira. It's fine. The more people who have Mikage already, the less people are going to compete. The players might actually have higher chances. Like for me, I won't even touch champion training for the next couple of days. But it's going to be a competition with another at least 100 players. Might be a bigger group, might be 200 players. So 200 players competing for one epic sounds very, very bad. And I find, honestly, when these events pop up with the progressive chances and stuff, if they added the champions needed for Mikage here, which they've done many times before for the epics, I find that the epics chance much better than just trying to compete in a champion training. All right. But anyway, I think, again, I'm going to reemphasize These next 2 weeks, guys, if you're not competing for anything, are just chill weeks. You just try to recover as much of your silver, try to recover as much of your shards as you can. Do not go crazy pulling stuff. Don't go crazy. You might be tempted, but just keep it chill. There's going to be a new fusion coming in for May. It's going to be this guy here, the Vault Keeper Wixwell, which we know he's going to be much better than the other one we have going on right now, the daily login champion. So have that in mind. Have that as your goal. Think about May. Don't think about the next 2 weeks. Think about, okay, what am I doing in May? All right, I'm going to be competing for this guy. So I'll need to have my shards ready. I need to have my silver ready. And I'll need to have everything else ready to go. So with that in mind, you guys gotta make your decisions in the next couple of weeks. So champion training, again, please play them. If you're watching this, there's better ways to do these. There's different ways to do these. Champion training already, I've mentioned they need to change a little bit more things with champion training, so that it includes more things, such as maybe farming in the Minotaur. That is like champion training. You're getting masteries. That should have been things that give you points. I also mentioned to them with Dungeon Divers events. Okay, yes, you're rating for artifacts and accessories, but this should also count oils that you're farming from the Sand Devil and the Phantom Shogun, because this, yes, you're not getting artifacts and accessories, but you're getting the things that upgrade your artifacts and accessories, and you're actively diving in those dungeons, right? So it's Dungeon Divers. You're in those 2 dungeons. You're getting 0 points for this one. This should have been included in there in terms of getting points. This is the old, well, except for the mythical line here. Everything else was there for 5 years now. Okay. All right. We didn't have the 6 stars, but for a long time, these points were just like that. So they need to rethink a little bit on their events and tournaments and how they give the points away. They need to rethink maybe even the summon rushes and all the other events that they have, in order to make, not just necessarily make them easier for players, but have the players in mind a little bit, because we're getting out of line a little bit with everything. I think that with all the dailies that we have to do every day, it just ramps up and players will start quitting, I feel like, if you don't give them incentive and more quality of life things. I haven't heard anything about a quality of life upgrade for so long, and since they want to do these champion training back-to-back things, so Hero's Path is now over. Tomorrow we have another champion training. When that is over, probably going to have another one. We need a huge quality of life. We need the tavern to be upgraded to something different. It needs to be something along the lines of what Watcher of Realms has. If you guys play that game, you guys know me. I do play that game. I do cover it on a different channel. But that game has basically an automated system of ranking up. So this, I wouldn't have to do this, all right? Selecting all the champions. It's basically there. If you have the maxed out champions, you're able to do this. You can level up multiple champions at the same time. They do use different resources, but this could have been done for raid, at least in the tavern, at least for ranking up. Okay, at least for ranking up, they could have done that. In terms of using brews and all that, maybe it gets very inefficient if it's like an automated way. It could get very inefficient very fast. So they would need to maybe check that, but definitely there's a lot of quality of life, and a lot of things to do to help the audience. I think that's the way to go if they want to have a good summer, right? In terms of financial results and all that good stuff. So yeah, that was the rant for today, guys. It went longer than I thought, but share your thoughts down below. I want to see what you think. Thank you all, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.